You are downsizing your home and have an acceptable offer. One question is on your mind though. How long does it take to close on a home after the offer is accepted? What needs to be done to close on the home on time? What happens if I pay all cash? Where do I start? These and other intriguing questions will be answered right after this, so stay tuned. Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Bob Weibrecht, Missouri licensed realtor with Coldwell Banker Realty Gundaker in St. Louis, Missouri since 2002. If you wish to learn about buying and selling residential real estate, subscribe and click that bell icon. Now, on to the reason why you're here. How long does it take to close on a home after the purchase offer is accepted? Well, that depends on where you're located, how the purchase offer is written, type of home loan you're getting, and other factors. There are actions that both the buyer and the seller must complete within specified timeframes. If not, this could cause a delay or the cancellation of the sale. The typical closing time takes about 30 to 40 days here in the St. Louis market for a conventional or FHA style mortgage. Using the St. Louis real estate market and the St. Louis Realtors residential sales contract as an example, when a purchase offer is written, a date and time is included for the seller to respond by. If the seller accepts, this date becomes the acceptance date. It is on this date that the purchase offer due dates are established, which means there are at least 7 things a buyer needs to do prior to closing, such as buyer inspections, loan commitments, appraisal, homeowners insurance, title and survey, title commitment. For the seller, they must have a governmental inspection and obtain an occupancy permit, make agreed upon repairs to the home, move out of the home, and leave any agreed upon items behind for the buyer. They must agree to the inspection selected by the buyer or their lender or their insurer with reasonable notice, and a final walkthrough before the actual closing. The time between the acceptance date and the closing is referred to as the due diligence period. During this time, there are several things that can delay the closing. Let's look at the top 5. 1. Title issues. Once a purchase offer is accepted, a copy is sent to the title company for processing. Here in St. Louis, the standard time is 25 days. It may be different in your area. Check with your agent for details. The title company checks for any issues with the title before the closing date. Some common issues found are property surveys, finding an encroachment onto or off of the subject property, unpaid liens such as taxes, contractor liens, or mechanics liens as they're more commonly known here, improvements made to the property without permits from local governments, and someone having a claim to the property, such as an heir, to mention a few. Number 2, inspection issues. In the St. Louis Realtors purchase offer, the buyer has a 10-day period after the acceptance date to have inspections done on the property. Once the inspections are completed and we're still inside the 10-day window, the buyer must make one of 3 choices. 1, accept the home as is, which ends the inspection period, or 2, they could exit the purchase offer with their earnest money returned, or 3, request repairs to the home. And 3, buyer financing issues. Sometimes the buyer can inadvertently delay closing by not supplying required documents in a prompt fashion that the lender is asking for. Or the buyer may make a large credit purchase with a shift in their debt to income ratio or DTI, which pushes them outside the lender's limits. Or they could co sign for someone else's loan. Again, a DTI issue. 4, appraisal issues. One would think with closing on a home soon, appraisals would be quick, but that's not always true. Due to factors such as the workload, the time the lender can get the documents to the appraiser, the lender is not getting the documents from the buyer or the buyer's agent, the appraisal may be delayed, which may cause a delay in closing on the home. A worst case scenario is when the appraised value is below the offer price. This may result in, again, yep, you guessed it, three outcomes. One, the seller accepts a lower price. Two, the buyer pays the difference between the offer price and the appraisal. And three, the purchase is canceled and the home goes back on the market. Moving on to number 5, third party issues. Who is a third party? Well, they are individuals or companies indirectly involved in the sale of the home. These could be inspectors, repair contractors, survey companies, your employer supplying employment and income verification, homeowner association trustees. Any one of these may delay closing by intentionally or simply not finish their assigned work in getting the documents to the requesting party. An example of this would be a repair contractor unable to obtain necessary materials to make the repair due to a supply chain issue. Since I'm the kind of guy that believes in providing value first, here is number 6. There, 6. A home sale contingency issue. In this case, the buyer must sell their home first before they can buy yours. A home sale contingency gives the buyer a certain amount of time to close on their home before buying a new one. The problem comes with the fact that with a home sale contingency, the buyer is responsible for clearing the same 5 issues that we discussed previously. For a refresher, they are the title issue, inspection issues, buyer financing issues, appraisal issues, and third party issues. What happens if you're paying all cash for your new home? Well, some of the previously mentioned issues may be avoided altogether, such as the buyer financing and appraisal issues. Time out here. A good agent will tell you to think long and hard about skipping the appraisal. By not getting the property appraised, you could end up overpaying for the home and may have to wait years for the market to catch up to what you paid for it. Not a good place to be. If you are committed to buying that home without an appraisal, be sure to ask your buyer's agent for a market analysis. So now you know how long does it take to close on a home after the offer is accepted. Want to learn more? Check out one of the videos I have linked here. If you found this video helpful, let me know by hitting that like button, subscribing to my channel, and sharing this video with your friends. Feel free to browse my channel for real estate information, and as always, make it a great day. See you next Wednesday.